And so, how do you really recommend people to get buy-in for some of these products? Because I know there's the common alternative. Like there is many tools to solve these problems. And I know from a previous customer, they hadn't invested before in product data tools and they had used Google Analytics. And I mean, it sounds crazy. You think of like, oh, like, you know, Google Analytics can't track users or so many different things is limited. But a lot of businesses, sometimes when they're smaller and they're thinking of like, well, why do I need to do this bigger investment in product analytics? Why do I need to understand the users? How can people really go and make that business case to maybe an executive who doesn't really understand the importance of tracking users and all these other fun things?
Yeah, totally. That's a great question. So I definitely think there are two things here. Like one, and that might be the hardest case to make is like the time that you're saving. Because if you have these tools now, like maybe you have less time like trying to crunch the numbers from things that, like you said, are not user centric. So will not give you like a complete picture of what your users are doing. And also like another example will be the time you save by being able to pull that data yourself without having to bug developers to implement more code or to like extract something from like the internal databases so that you can like run queries on top of that. So there's all this like I want to save time because I want to definitely inject data as much as possible in my decision making process. And right now it's taking me too long to do so. So that's like one argument. I think the second argument is also like, can you use this data to actually like empower new workflows? Are there things that you can do with this data that you used to not be collecting? And now not only that you have this rear view mirror, you understand like how your users are interacting with your product, but you actually also directly act on it. So an example of that is that if you start collecting this data at the user level, you can re-engage with your users. Like let's say you're a marketer and you have collected all this data and you know exactly like which segment or cohort of user might be likely to come back, but maybe they haven't heard about this new feature because you can tell like from the product data they haven't interacted with that new feature you just rolled out. So now you have extracted a very valuable data set because you have a list of users to target so that they can come back to your product and that they can give you feedback and also maybe like go from churned to reactivated users. And so I think this is also a strong argument to invest early on in like having like a full picture of your users and how they work with your product.